All right, welcome back to episode 2. Let's build live. In today's video, we're going to experiment a little bit. We're going to build a Chrome extension live from start to finish. This is going to be a completely free tool for the users to use, for you to use if you're interested. And, further along down the line, based off of community feedback, we might turn this into a freemium model with paid subscriptions. And then, at that point, I would live stream that process as well to show you, how to integrate Stripe within your Claude Code developed app. But for the sake of today's demo, I really wanted to do something just unique and free. While this tool in itself isn't a very unique idea, how you operate it is, right? LinkedIn has a lot of restrictions as far as what you can do, right, with plugins or extensions. So let's pull up something that I prepared here. And I prepared this one within Claude Code, of course. I have a PRD ready to go, but it's going to be a bring your own key model where your API key is going to be stored locally on your machine. We do not capture any data. There's going to be no backend created here. But essentially, here's the user flow. You install the extension from the Chrome Web App Store. You click the icon, onboarding opens, you accept the terms and risks. You enter in your open API key, and then you upload your LinkedIn profile PDF that you can export from your LinkedIn profile, as well as 5 recent posts. The reason we're doing this is to capture your voice. And then, navigating to your LinkedIn feed, as you're scrolling and you see a post that you want to reply on, well, this extension isn't going to automatically reply for you. However, it's going to detect the post that you want to reply to. It's going to give you some recommendations based off of your voice, your writing style, and whatever the topic's about. And then it's going to give you a couple of different variations, and then you're going to be able to copy paste that into the reply window and manually reply. So the only legal gray area that I found here, let's go up. I've gone back and forth, because my original idea definitely violated the terms. And I do not want to get people banned, right? So it was just a fun idea that I had based off of the term reply guy on Twitter, right? Reply guy is a thing. You can grow by being a reply guy as long as it's value-based replies and thoughtful replies and not just random emojis replying to top accounts to increase your exposure. So that's just the gist of what we're building today. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. And let me one thing I should have tested is to make sure we're live. I'm pretty sure we are, but it's just peace of mind. Every time I've streamed on other channels, I always go to the YouTube channel just to make sure everything checks out. Clearmud. We're live. I'm pretty sure we are. Perfect. Hey, 2 views already. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Now, but without squirrel ado, let's get straight into it. So I've already prepared a terminal window and a Chrome extension window here. I have my feed already open. Whenever you're developing a Chrome extension app, make sure you have developer mode enabled so that you can load unpacked. As we're testing, we can load the folder that we're developing out of, and this is going to be the one here. And I'm not going to select it quite yet, and I don't think we'll need any other tabs. So let's spin up Claude in the terminal. Bam. Okay, we're in. We're ready. Okay. All right. You are a full stack web developer with an expertise in Chrome extensions. Build me linked intelligence, a Chrome extension for LinkedIn. Here's the PRD. Oops. And I want to hit escape. It'll remember that part of the conversation. I do want to open up here and just drag in my markdown file that I exported from Claude. And we're going to let it get to work. Hey, Andra, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's pin this message. We live and kicking. This is good to hear. And look at that, how quick. All right, perfect. I've read through the comprehensive PRD for linked intelligence. This is a well-documented Chrome extension project. Let me create a plan and start building it. Wonderful. One thing I realized I probably should have done before I started stream, I do have multiple Claude Pro accounts, and I might have to mid-stream because I am approaching my weekly limit. Hopefully, for the sake of the demo, we don't have that interruption, but it's going to be really quick and easy to do if I need to. And for anybody else watching, what are you building? And if you're not building anything, what do you wish was built? What do you wish exists? I'm curious. You know, not only selfishly for me, but maybe you give me an idea for next week's live stream. And if you're just tuning in, I plan on doing these once a week for now. We might increase the cadence. We might do 2 or 3 times a week. The day of the week is not always going to be Friday. This week was a little tricky, so instead of Wednesday, I chose Friday, but I really like the idea of doing this every single Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. PST and 12:30 p.m. EST, which also leads to 4:30 p.m. UTC, which is, you know, most of Europe. So it's a great time zone that captures a lot of different audiences between the 2 continents. And we're just letting it get to work here. Love it. I don't go YOLO mode all the time. I don't review every line, but I just make sure just the key points of it are solid. And we can hide that. And if we're not already connected on LinkedIn, reach out, hit me up. And let me also prepare my API key. Ooh, some notes I want to add. I personally use Whisperflow. I'm not sure if anybody's aware. This is a really awesome voice to text application. It, you know, reduces friction, and instead of typing out your thoughts, you can just raw, unfiltered, just speak it into existence. And it's the preferred way to vibe code. So if anybody's interested in signing up, we both get a free month. You don't have to pay for your first month. You can just sign up for a free trial, and I will be posting that in the chat momentarily. I should have saved my my referral link quickly. I wonder if I can just search Whisper. Okay. We're going to accept and continue. So it's set up the project structure with extension and backend folders. Now, for anybody curious about how I got to this page here, I did create my directory here right? You don't want to just open your terminal and start, working on it in your root directory. You definitely want to have some type of structure. So I have a dev folder on my desktop, and then, the brand or, kind of subcategory, and then I throw in all my projects accordingly. So you always want to change directory, make directory, and make sure you're within that directory, spin up Claude, and then get to work. Okay. It is working along there. And for anybody curious, here is the, why isn't that pasting? Copy. Can I not paste into this chat in OBS? Interesting, I can't paste into OBS chat. It's weird. And we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Let's go visit the stream as Clearmud. There it is. I'll just for anybody curious to test it out. All right, let's continue along. Yeah, I just want to put an emphasis. I've been saying this in a lot of my videos. It has never been easier to build, and more importantly, it's never been easier to deploy. You just have to learn how to talk with AI, and the best way to learn is to try. Try and fail. The first thing you build is not going to succeed. Second thing, third thing, fourth thing, you get the picture, is not going to succeed, but you're going to gain a lot of experience along the way. And I guarantee you, you will come up with ideas on a daily basis that will lead to something. All right. Now, in the meantime, I am over here in my OpenAI control panel. So go into platform.openai.com to generate your API key. You might have to set up billing. I can't remember if I'm pretty sure every, control panel, before you can generate an API key, in most all cases, you have to set up your billing account. Once you do that, go over to API keys and create a new service key. I'm just going to call this LI, live, stream. I'm going to write delete so that I'm reminded to delete it at some point. And we're going to select the project, linked intelligence, and then create secret key. Now, I'm not going to do that yet because I want to do it once we're ready to start testing this app. But I just wanted to give you a quick demonstration on how to do it yourself. Oh, something I'm very proud of. Let me show you the creative I made for this. Bam. That's the logo for this extension. Pretty sweet. I don't think it infringes, right? It's completely different letters, completely different coloring, but LI with the little chat window. One thing I am noticing, maybe we can move these letters over to the right, but for the sake of the demo, I think it's fine. And then this is the banner. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. And let's accept. All right. And I'm only interrupting so that I can paste in the logo. All right, so I'm just going to drag this. Oh, wait. Oh, continue. That's my bad. Yeah, I think it's called lilogo.png. There we go. Gotta love how Claude resizes it for us. That tedious work that you used to have to do manually in the past. I mean, it's built this pretty quickly. We did take a lot of time though, you know, creating the PRD, doing market research and fine tuning things to get to where we are. So I'm not surprised, but it just goes to show once you know, vibe coding is great. Don't get me wrong, just starting off conversing with AI, I think that's the best way to learn. But as you progress and the more reps you get under your belt, it's like, you'll then come up with an idea, but prepare that idea technically, right? Get a PRD made, make revisions, go back and forth, explain, you know, share certain concerns within the PRD, and Claude will continue to spit back revisions. Then you take that markdown file once you're ready to develop that app and give it a roll first and foremost and say, hey, build this app called whatever, here's the PRD. And it will get to work. I mean, that's all we did here. That was our very first prompt. You are a full stack web developer with an expertise in Chrome extension. I meant to put extensions. Build me linked intelligence, a Chrome extension for LinkedIn. Here's the PRD. And it got to work. All right, we can go back there. Approve. We've already done that. All right, it is complete. Let's see if it's bug-free. Offer it, first go. Let's load unpacked, select. What? Interesting. I think it's because we have to grab the extension folder. That's why. Okay. Voila. I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Let's pin this. Icon is small, but it looks good. Looks good. Oh, one thing I'm also realizing is my mouse is hidden on this. Let's show it because I feel like that's a touch that we want. And show cursor. Okay, so now you should be able to see my cursor. Beautiful. So, I mean, I hate this generic purple. All right, before I guess we'll follow through with it. I probably should have been a little bit more specific in the PRD, you know, creative wise. Nevertheless, let's test this. So go on to LinkedIn. All right, before we begin, please read and accept the following terms. This extension reads content from LinkedIn posts to generate reply suggestions. While we never automate actions on LinkedIn, which is a violation of terms of service, browser extensions that interact with LinkedIn may violate their terms of service. By using this linked intelligence, you acknowledge LinkedIn prohibits browser extensions, etc. Your LinkedIn account may be restricted or banned. We are not liable for any account restrictions. You use this tool at your own risk. We recommend using sparingly and responsibly. I understand and accept these risks. Now, this is where I love how it hides it automatically. Wonderful. So I'm going to show you the process of generating your API key. And I don't mind showing this screen because when we create the secret key, it only shows a portion of the first string. That's not the entire string, so I'm not worried about anybody stealing it, but I will create a new one for the sake of this demo. Love how it hides it. Beautiful. Gives you a cost estimate. We are using 04 mini for this one. Let's continue. I'm going to choose file. Now, let me actually really quickly show you how to export. Oh, we're going to have to optimize this. So I don't like how it hides, right? I thought creating a new tab would solve that. Apparently not. But if you want to export your PDF, you go over here to resources on your profile and save to PDF. Now, I've already done this, so I'm just going to go through that process myself. We're going to accept. We're going to paste here. We're going to continue. We're going to choose the PDF. I'm going to go to my desktop. It should be right here. Open, continue. I do not like, all right. Okay, we already have to fix a few things. But for the sake of testing, you know, the app first go before we start vibing with it, let's go. I don't use LinkedIn enough. How do I guess I don't post those personally. I should start doing that. I post those in Clearmud. Yeah. Okay. Well, so what I'm going to do is grab these. I'm going to open up a notepad. Create just a dummy folder, a new note, and I'm going to paste in there. Boop, 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 boop. Separate it this way. Bam. 2. Yeah, I need to start posting those Clearmud videos on my personal one. Wow. Andra, which part of my screen? I'm curious. Like all of it? And then are you watching on smartphone or laptop? Just out of curiosity so that I can optimize this for future streams. And I'm gonna paste in another one here. And then one last post. Okay, now I'm gonna keep this over here. We're gonna go back to LinkedIn, linked intelligence. Oh God, I hate that color. Ugh, with a passion. All right, grab that API key, paste it in there, choose file, grab that profile PDF, bam. And we're gonna copy this, paste that in there. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Okay, that is kind of annoying. We'll optimize this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, complete setup. Setup complete locally, but there was an error connecting to the server. You can still use the extension. Okay, let's go to LinkedIn. Oh, look at that. It does place one right here. Get reply ideas. So let's go down to a post that I really want to reply to. People keep saying AI will replace developers. That's cute. Get reply ideas. Failed to fetch. Now this is where we vibe. All right. Successful test. The onboarding is buggy. Some notes. When a user is going through the onboarding, let's say they haven't downloaded their PDF yet, and they go to navigate LinkedIn, well, the extension pop-up module disappears, and then when you click it again, the user has to start over again. So we need to find a way to save the state or the step that they're on in the onboarding process so that if the extension pop-up module disappears for them to, for example, copy paste their posts or grab their profile.pdf, that they don't have to go and start over from step 1. In addition, the get reply ideas button failed. Let me give you the exact error as well as a copy of the console logs. Okay, and then I'm gonna X and give it the console here. Ooh, a lot of failures, huh? All right. So as you can see here, I used Whisper Flow to essentially talk to it. I gave it step 1, step 2, and then now I'm pasting in the browser console logs, and we're just gonna let it get to work. Whoa, that was probably very inefficient. I shouldn't have wasted so much on that. Oh well. So that's called onboarding state persistence, button injection errors. Okay, so it's gonna address both. And while we're at it, I think that the theme creatively is way too sloppy and generic. We want to follow a modern glassmorphic approach while also utilizing our brand colors from our icon. Oh, and let me go back to comments. Yes, both screens are slightly hard to read on. The notes on the left are unreadable, small, and only on a laptop. Interesting. Okay. I wonder if, okay, I can increase this. So let me, how does that look now? And what I can do is jump between the two. And I will increase this as well. Now, let me know how the Zoom looks on your end as well. This is a great, thank you, Andra, for your input and interacting. This is very helpful. I'm gonna let this overlap now, and we'll just kind of jump from screen to screen as we need to. Hopefully this is much better for you. Let me know. And for the Get Reply Ideas button, we should use our logo as well, instead of the light bulb. And sometimes if I'm not clicked in there, you know, it all goes into whisper flow, which is awesome. So I'm just gonna awesome. Thank you. This is probably where I should just, and for anybody curious, Shift Tab alters, you know, plan mode on, wait for approval, and then accept edits on. We're just gonna accept edits. I trust Claude. This actually gives me an idea. For Clearmud OS, let's create a new command for LinkedIn. And the purpose of this is to analyze our YouTube channel. I want to think about how to word this better. So something else I do, for anybody curious what I was just doing there, I have my own operating system. I did highlight it in a video that's going to be dropping, I think, in about 2 weeks. It's already scheduled and recorded and done, but it's essentially a, and why not? I'll give you a sneak peek. New window. And we go here to Clearmud OS. So since auto edits are on, I can kind of squirrel here. But as you can see here, I have certain commands. I have a blog writer, a newsletter researcher, Substack, actionable. It's just kind of my terminology, and then YouTube script. This helps me come up with a lot of scripts and the posting kits and getting everything in order. One thing I'm gonna do is do one for LinkedIn, but also share YouTube, you know, reference off of our YouTube channel, analyze the YouTube channel, analyze, you know, improvements since the previous week, and then share weekly updates. I think that'll be a fun command to build into my operating system for Clearmud. All right, all issues fixed. State persistence. Okay, great. By adding web accessible resources to manifest, improved error handling for connection failures, added helpful error message when backend isn't running. Wait a second, I thought, we'll continue. Modern glassmorphic, okay. So now, with each update we do have to, I personally just remove it, and then load unpacked, select, voila. Okay, let's go back. Better, but not quite there. Not quite there. Come on. All right. I'm actually curious to see though. Okay, it did save the state, so we don't go back to step one. That's great. Let me go grab a API key. Create new secret. Paste, continue, choose, grab profile, okay, continue. Now, we've already done this, but I do want to test. Perfect, it does save the state. Now, let me go back and boom, boom, boom. We're just gonna, hopefully that's good enough. Oh wow, I really have to. That's a bummer. Yeah, we're gonna definitely have to optimize this. I don't like the small window that it lets us kind of operate inside of. We're just gonna complete. But there was an error connecting to server. Extension linked intelligence says setup completed locally, but there was an error connecting to the server. You can still use the extension. One question I have is, I didn't think we needed a server for this one. I thought there was zero backend involved here. Please advise. Okay, all set. Go to LinkedIn. Love how it takes us to our feed. Beautiful. So get reply ideas. Yep, and then when I try to generate replies, cannot connect to server, make sure the backend is running on localhost 3000. And let's escape out of there and grab our last two voice notes. This is a lot of what vibe coding is. Rinse and repeat, improve, talk to it. Good catch, you're absolutely right to question this. Let me clarify the architecture from the PRD. It does require a backend for the bring your own key model, but I understand your confusion. The backend receives the user's API key in each request, but never stores it. Okay. I love how it's giving us, what do we want? I mean, I don't mind if our logic's exposed in the extension code. This is a free tool after all. We're not trying to hide anything. Let's make it fully client-side because this is exactly what I wanted, so. Okay, great. So it's gonna get to work. I guess that's my bad for not, I have a feeling the PRD was also created based off of a couple of documents, kind of rolling this out in two different phases. Phase one being this completely free model, bring your own key, everything stored locally in your browser, because we don't want your API keys. We don't want to steal anything. We don't want any type of, hey, thank you, João. Hey, I appreciate it. João Silva, yeah, my good cousin is Vitor de Silva. So I'm very familiar with the name, nice Portuguese name. Wonderful, always good to meet a fellow Portuguese. So, obrigado para... my Portuguese is also rusty with certain lingo, mas muito obrigado para estar aqui, não é? E até a próxima, Although I know what te próximo is like until next time, but I hope you come back, right? But yeah, what are you building? Thanks for tuning in. I'm curious. Are you just learning? Just liking AI content, just kind of trying to consume as much as possible to learn? Or are you building something and kind of going from there? I would love to know. Yeah, it's tough to hold my excitement. You know, I make videos. I'm 3 weeks ahead on all my videos. So sometimes I'll make a video and it's time sensitive, but it only posts, 2 or 3 weeks after the fact. I'm currently, 6 videos in my queue. So that's 3 total weeks that are planned, scheduled, ready to post, once it hits that time and date. Part of me wants to increase the frequency, but I love this stress-free way of creating to where I don't have to pull all-nighters and stress every single week to finish those videos on any given week. I have this kind of lenience, and with olive harvest coming up very soon, I'm definitely going to be taking a week off on creating videos as well. So it gives me that flexibility. But I got to say, I'm excited for 3 or 4 of these next 6 videos that I enjoyed making, I enjoyed editing. I think they're going to bring a ton of value to the end user and the viewer. So, all right, converted fully. No more backend dependency, direct OpenAI integration. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, and I forgot about that. It had been a while, so I can just reload here. We don't have to remove it and unpack it each time. Interesting. Why is it doing that? Refresh. Okay. Go to LinkedIn. Get reply ideas. Look at this. Killing it. Professional, you bring a vital point about the necessity of adapting to technological advancements. Embracing AI opens up numerous opportunities for innovation and efficiency, especially in our coding practices. Ignoring it could mean, Yeah, that doesn't really apply to that. Let's see. Actually, it might. Now, I do want to go check and see. Usage. It should have just done something. Yep. I mean, this is from another app. Today, I haven't triggered that other app, so this should be all from what we just did. Less than a cent. I gotta say, I'm loving this. Friendly, professional, supportive. Wow, this is impressing me. Obrigado, João. Yeah, it's every day I feel like there's something new. That's why, I try not to get overwhelmed by it. I try to just focus on what brings me joy and energy. And, starting this channel was something I had an idea on last December, but it took me essentially a full year to start, even more than a year. I think I formed this channel in December of 2023. The name hadn't changed. Clearmud had been an idea for a while, but I just didn't take action on it until this year. In June, I started with the intention of posting, once a week, and then we went up to twice a week. One thing I'm noticing is, tools appear every day. But I think it's being aware of them all is great, but you're going to notice a lot of them are wrappers and they all kind of come from 1 or 2 models. But going to your second question. Yeah. I mean, I think that's solid. I think you're going to be ahead of 90% of people, understanding how people are using all these tech tools instead of being overwhelmed and ignoring, right, what's going on. I think just watching, being aware, you know, little ideas will start to pop into your head. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Are you based in the States or in Portugal? Or Brazil? I don't think that's a Brazilian name, but I have my little cousin Murilo in Brazil. That's why I speak a little bit more. All the Portuguese here in Portugal think I'm Brazilian when I talk, because I have more cousins there. But I'm 100% Portuguese. I just have some of that Brazilian tongue, because I primarily spoke with all my cousins in Brazil. Now, I want to copy. I mean, comment. Bam. I mean, this is a great experiment. I mean, yes, a couple errors out the gate, but just a few back and forth. Oh, right on, João. Cool. So you're in the same time zone. That's one thing I tried to do with this live stream is pick a time zone that, you know, here in Europe, people can tune in. Back in the States, because I spend half of my year in California. So that's 8:30 a.m. is when this starts in Pacific, and then midday in Eastern, New York time zone, Florida, and so forth. So that way, when I go back to the States, I can continue the frequency of this live stream at the same time. I'll just be streaming at 8:30 in the morning over there, rather than, you know, 4:30 p.m. over here. So it's just, I'm not sure when you tuned in, but Friday may not always be the day I do this. I think I'm going to move it to Wednesdays, do something in the middle of the week, although I'd love your feedback, what you prefer. You know, I'm doing this selfishly for me, but also for you, for anybody in the audience who's going to come and tune in and learn and build and ask questions. You know, I want to pick a day that everybody likes, that everybody prefers as best I can. So, Andra, I know you are interested in a tool like this, right? First impression, I mean, I'm loving this already. To me, it does kind of sound sloppy though. Kind of like this first one, you bring a vital point. I don't know if I necessarily talk like this, right? So, embracing AI, I mean, all right. Great first test. Great first test. Reply suggestions, populate. I'm loving it. One question I have though, this kind of sounds like AI slop. Can you confirm that we have logic in place that references the posts that we paste in during the onboarding process to generate a voice this way? Show me proof of work, please. So this is me talking to Claude and saying, hey, listen. Yeah. If you want to make micro adjustments to the test, Andra, shoot. I will adjust this on the fly based off of your comments, for sure. Now, I'm going to have to improve, obviously, the size of this. There's all this extra space. I love the glassmorphic effect it gave us, but I don't like the coloring. So we're going to have to get a tad more specific here. Also, creatively, for the button that says get reply ideas on the LinkedIn post itself, I think we should just do the blue outline with a white or transparent background, because our logo really gets hidden, and then change the text color to a black or a blue. So this is just me vibing, talking to Claude. Claude. I mean, can I edit inside the suggestions? Oh. I don't think so, but let's check. No, you copy. So I love this idea. Thank you, Andra. One thing, let me actually wait for it to finish. I don't want to give it too much. Okay. Before we reload, I'd like to see if this is possible technically. Within our reply suggestions, we only have the option to copy. Can we incorporate an option to edit within and then copy that field? Absolutely. That's a great UX improvement. Let me create an inline. Let me add an inline edit feature to each reply box. Here's how it will work. Click on the reply. Click on the reply, edit the text inline, click copy. This is great. This is wonderful. Now, I wasn't able to test like competitive tools or competitors rather that I found when I was doing my research for this live stream and for this app, because a lot of them, all of them are essentially in paywalls, like hidden behind paywalls. So nobody has, to my knowledge, created a completely free version that you can bring your own key to, right? So you have the app. It's all stored locally. There's no connection to any database on the back end, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm freaking loving this. I get excited for nerd stuff all the time. Like, been a nerd ever since I was like 6 years old. That's when I built my first computer, but didn't know what I was doing. But nevertheless, like, I get excited, but the level of excitement I have for today's tool is pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet. So I'm excited to expand on this, promote this, and then also based off of community feedback, I think we're going to turn this into a paid product to where you have your free version, right? And then you have your paid version options. And then with that, I think I would save that for a live stream, and then we can test Stripe integration live, implement it, ship it, all live. The only thought I have is, not wanting to expose certain API keys. So that's one thing for me. It's like I would have to go back in and replace all the keys after the fact. So, but hopefully there's not too many bad actors wanting to steal stuff like that. They're here to learn, but you just never know. But I'm honestly surprised with how quickly this was able to get a working version. I thought we were going to be going back and forth for at least an hour. And I mean, we've been live for about an hour, just about, but we really only started, working on the app, 20 minutes in. So, all right. No application knows how to open URL extension. Why is it trying to do that? Hold on. I've completed inline editing for the reply suggestions. The implementation is ready to test. So each reply is now content editable div. Okay. Okay. Beautiful. Let's go refresh. What are these errors? I'm noticing when I refresh the, unpacked extension, there's an error. I'm going to paste the error here for your records. It's related to a constant for today's count. Do we have a restriction on this app for the number of replies you can generate on any given day? I'm curious. Because I don't remember setting any. There we go. Continue. I don't remember setting any restrictions, when I was fine-tuning the PRD. I think I went through a couple of revisions on that one, but we'll see. So now let's close all this and let's say, okay, yes, actually literally right in front of me. So it has 10 uses per day. Okay. Andra. All right. So we're going to like this. We're going to get reply. Oh, I'm loving this outline much better. Much, much, much better. Let's see what it does. Loving it. Loving it. Loving it. And look, edit. Bah, 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 bah. This is great. I love this. Oh my goodness. This is great. Great suggestion. Thank you, Andra. All right. And yes, I think I will make a video for your dashboard. Now, I can tell it's pulling from my voice because I shared, for reference, all of my Clearmud related posts. I need to start posting personally more. So I'm going to make it a point after this live stream to start posting once a day, period. Just start posting once a day. I'm working on so many things. I feel like I can share so much. I've just been selfish. So I need to stop gatekeeping my thoughts and I need to share them, as someone very brilliant once shared with me. So, God, all right, what else can we do to improve? Now, I'm thinking what we can do is reduce the height of these, and instead of showing each suggestion in, each row, turn these tags into kind of tabs, if you will. Only have one screen, and then you can alternate between those tags, or rather tabs, that show the professional output, the friendly output, and the supportive output. I think that'll be a great touch. So I'm just gonna reply, keep up the great work. And we're gonna copy, and we're gonna add in this comment. And one thing I'm actually curious, AI, oh, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. AI or not. I want to see if AI or not thinks that this is AI. Let's see. This will be a great test. Text, paste, scan. Sign up with Google. We'll use this dummy Gmail for Clearmud. Text, scan. What? It's not enough? Oh, come on. All right, fine. Whatever. All right, let's move on to our updates because I do want to update this. Oh, weekly limit reached. All right, let me log into my other account here. Just give me one moment. It's the beauty of having multiple accounts. So let's log in. Subscription. Authorize. And we should be good to go here. Voila. Yeah, so this other one just reset, so we have plenty of usage here. Okay. Please continue. Okay. I think what would be an awesome tool, or rather, forgive me, I think what would be an awesome feature to incorporate is to allow the user to edit the rate limits, right? Because this is their API key. We have no control over this. This is not like this is a freemium or paid model. So I think the user should be able to update any limiting that we incorporate. What are your thoughts here? I like asking Claude its thoughts personally. And then in addition, the reply suggestions. I want to see if this is possible and not too complicated for you. So instead of showing each suggestion stacked on top of each other row by row, I wonder if we could just have one window, but tabbed. So professional, friendly, supportive, right? Having those tags at the top of the window. And then when you click on each tag, it then changes, right, the reply below, right? This would make it, I feel like this would make the app look a lot sharper and not expand the timeline so much as it does right now. I think that's good enough. And let's paste those two improvements and see how it does. And you know what? I need to address this because this coloring is unacceptable. It is unacceptable to me. And also we have this like added space down here. Yuck. My goodness. Both ideas are excellent. Oh, let's see its responses. Absolutely agree. Since users are paying for their own API calls, they should control the limits. This also gives them flexibility based on their OpenAI tier. I'll add a settings section to the dashboard where they can customize or disable limits. Tabbed reply interface, great idea. This will make the UI much cleaner and less intrusive on the LinkedIn feed. Instead of 3 stacked boxes, we'll have one sleek box with tabs at the top. Wonderful. Now, in the meantime, I'm not gonna, I just want to talk to it here. Now, I'm gonna wait because it is doing work. I love how I don't have to refresh the app. It'll actually show me the refresh there. Okay. Now I'm noticing on the, drop-down extension pop-up menu, and let's comment because I realized I didn't comment yet. Okay. I should probably put this closer to me. I'm thinking what we're going to do. Default, it's going to be a light theme with our blue brand color. Well, I want to add the logo up top next to where that light bulb is. And then I also want to make the zoom, or rather, the content within this dropdown dynamic to where you don't have to scroll. I don't like how I have to scroll here. I do not like that at all. So I wonder if we can increase the size. And then also create a little light dark mode for anybody who prefers a dark mode kind of UI interface. I think those will be 2 main changes we make after we verify these next set of changes here. Now, in the meantime, oh, never mind, it's already done. What was added? Wonderful. You can set to 0, and it explains that. Wonderful. Get, okay. Let's test this. Is it going to do it? Okay, we do have to refresh this app. Okay. Let's go to LinkedIn. Generate reply ideas. Ooh. Much better, much sleek, like so much more sharper and sleek. I'm loving this. Wow. Editing works. I mean, spot on. And then we can just exit out. Wow. Loving this quite a bit. Okay. All right, so next up, I don't want to change anything there yet. I'm sure we'll have more changes, but I do want to optimize this. All right, so for our pop-up module, the drop-down menu, when you click the extension in the extensions toolbar, we got to change that light bulb to our logo, first and foremost, to the left of the title, Linked Intelligence. Let's make this a light theme by default, right? So we want to have white background, kind of grayish with our blue, our brand color. Apply, solid color theory to this approach with our brand color and light theme. And then I would also like to incorporate a light or dark mode button to where the user can then press, moon or sun to get a darker theme versus a lighter theme. I would like you to handle the logistics. And then last but certainly not least, I have to scroll when I click on that dropdown. I was wondering if we can make all of this content dynamic and adjust the size of the dropdown depending on the amount of content in the dropdown, so that the user does not have to scroll. Is this technically possible? So as you can see, when I vibe code, I just talk. I just kind of talk. I know technically I don't explain myself the best, but I think I do a good enough job to where I get the results I'm looking for. So let's see what happens here. All excellent points. Let's also make sure that, I mean, this is all happening so quick. Let me actually create a new terminal. Nope. I'm very curious. Okay, I still have Sonnet set as the default. I probably should switch to Haiku. That's how I pronounce it. But I'm not really worried about the weekly limits. We'll be fine. Continue. Yeah, all that empty space is unacceptable. I mean, it understood me pretty quickly, so. All right, so now I do want to start prepping the scroll all the way to the bottom, developer dashboard. Ooh, am I gonna need to log in with my other account, or is this gonna be good enough? Let's see. I think I will, because I had to pay some small fee just to be approved. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We'll have to add an account. And I will have to approve here. Yes, okay. Voila. So I cringe looking at this tomato ticket. It's such a, like, it's cool. I did build one for another YouTube video where I did a live demonstration. I think that YouTube video was like an hour and a half long or something. But we want to start prepping. I guess I need the file ready to upload. Okay, fine. We'll wait. Okay. And let's take a screenshot of this. And sometimes I do type, but very rarely. I'm excited to launch this one. I'm really hoping it does not violate the terms. I think the only gray area that we're operating in is, as Claude mentioned, viewing the feed itself. I think we should be fine though. Logo in title, wonderful. Okay. Tell it to continue, because did it not get this error done? Let's see. Much better. We still have to scroll though. That's a bummer. Did great. We don't have to fine tune the color of the text, which is great. Oh, we do have to, on the dark mode here. Yes, we do. Okay. I guess the scrolling's fine. If I'm being honest, I'm just being nitpicky. But for the sake of going through the onboarding one more time, we're going to delete all our data here. Okay. Still have to scroll. Now, I still have to scroll when I click the icon for the drop-down menu. Is there any way to adjust the size so that we never have to scroll? Or is that not possible? Okay. It might squish everything down, but we will see. Everything looks good though. Let's see. Okay. I will go generate, clean up all the API keys, delete, rather revoke, new key. Copy. Some notes during the onboarding. When we get to your LinkedIn profile, let's optimize that black text on the blue background. It's not legible. So let's change that text color to white on the light theme. Dark theme, okay. Let's also add an indicator, maybe like a green check mark next to the profile.pdf or whatever their file is that they uploaded. It doesn't make it clear since the choose file option is still there. Let's optimize that, please. Okay, let's check lights. Okay, so onboarding pretty solid except for that section. Now let me go grab my notes, and we're just gonna go one at a time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I really need to start posting more so I can give it more of my vibe. I think it should automatically do this for us. What do you think? Complete setup, all set. Go to LinkedIn. All right, let's go and refresh. Looks like we still have, I mean, feel like it just incorrectly placed this. Okay. Okay. I mean, it did improve it quite a bit, which is awesome. It did a great job. So we're going to have to settle for this. And let's get reply ideas. This is super, I don't know, this feels sloppy to me. Sure as heck doesn't feel like my voice, but I also didn't give it any context to my voice aside from those super brief Clearmud posts. So I think this is something I'm gonna have to work on and improve. But, you know, I'm happy just with the overall layout as of now. I feel like for a version 1, it's solid. Dark mode, it looks like it did fix. Previously it was not visible. Okay, great. Now let me paste in all my thoughts while it was working. So paste. Dark theme, okay. And add that as well. Now, I could have sworn I asked it for proof of work on its logic. Let's scroll up. Did I just burn through that? How difficult would it be to incorporate a chat GPT log? For example, you know, our API key is prompting O4 mini. Is there a way for us to see those prompts? I feel like that'd be a nice touch, because then that's also proof of work to make sure it's actually doing something and not giving us slop. Okay. Okay, create a log viewer. Wonderful. Great. Wonderful. All right. But aside from that, I mean, I feel like we're at a great stopping point. I think it's time to go through the process of shipping this to the Chrome Web App Store and wait for approval. You know, I'm very happy with where we're at. And just based off of my excitement for today's stream and tool, we're going to expand on this. I might, you know, just run it back next week to where we build a landing page, website, reserve the domain. I'll reserve a domain throughout the week since I'm very happy with, you know, the progress we've made and this first version of the app. Yeah, I suppose, I mean, you know, I want to make sure this brings value to whoever's watching it. Is there something else you want to see me do, right? Or is showing you the process of preparing this application, or this extension rather, for the Chrome Web App Store enough? I do want to show you the process as I expand on this and turn this into a freemium model, but that's not going to be today. I want to keep a rough 2-hour limit on these live streams. That way they're not insanely long, but I have some dinner to eat, right? So I want to make sure that I don't go too far into the evening. So the cost for everything I've done so far, I mean, I probably should have calculated that a little better. I mean, all the tests I've run on GPT, let's see. Let's wait for this to pop up here. Less than a cent still. I guess 9 cents if you look at this whole window, but that's not all from today. And yeah, the O4 mini model's very efficient. Now, if I were to have it prompt with GPT-5, it would definitely cost more. Yeah, and then, you know, when it comes to Claude, I mean, I have my subscription, so it's whatever in my limits. I think I may have used 10% of another account for the current session. And then, you know, but I only paid $20 a month for each account. But each account is currently on a promo. I think I'm paying 10 a month. And for anyone curious, if you go to, using Claude, if you go to claude.ai/purpose and you don't yet have an account, that is a Jay Shetty promotion. I'm not sure if it's still active. Let's see, claude.ai/purpose. It gives you your first 3 months, 50% off on a pro subscription. Yeah, right here. Special offer, half price Claude Pro for 3 months. So that's why I went with 2 accounts, because it's like paying for the price of one. And then at the end of these 3 months, I will cancel one. And then most likely, I've been noticing I've been running into limits. I'm probably going to just keep one account and upgrade to max and pay $100 or $200 a month. I'm not sure yet. But this is a great alternative to save some money, to bootstrap something as cheaply as possible. So I hope this helps, and I hope you save some money. So yeah, I mean, aside from my time, this barely cost me anything, right? I mean, this cost me time and maybe 10 cents for today's tests. So pretty sweet. It's like I said, like, it's never been easier to build. It's never been easier to deploy. There is a common misconception with building with Claude Code. A lot of people will think, I made a video about this because I got enough questions in the comments from a number of different videos saying, how much in API usage did that cost you to build? Well, I don't build with API usage. I build with my monthly subscription usage. When you first log in and spin up Claude, I'll give you just a straight example here, Claude. And when you log in, right, when you're first spinning it up, yes, you can set up an API usage billing. Let me increase that size. But just go with the account subscription. And one little trick I've been doing is, I didn't do it for today's demo because I knew it wasn't going to be that intensive on tokens, but you plan with Sonnet, and then you go in and switch your model to this new Haiku, which is insanely fast. And, you know, I've found that it does a great job, and it's a fraction of the cost of Sonnet 4.5. So you'll notice your usage goes up even slower. But generally, when I'm planning, when I'm doing the initial build of something, I always use Sonnet, but then I switch over to Haiku in most all cases to actually do the work. All right, let's check here. Automatic logging system. So I think what's left for today's demo here is to deploy this and wait for approval. View prompt logs. Okay, let's go get reply ideas. Let me just refresh my feed. Let's get reply ideas. Bam, bam. Okay. And it even estimates our cost right here. I mean, I don't even know. Is that one hundredth of a penny? That's insane. That's insane. It kind of makes me want to switch it to GPT-5 just to see how different the responses are. Okay, no prompts logged yet. Interesting. So for the prompt logs, I'm noticing no prompts have been logged yet. However, I have gotten, I've clicked the get reply ideas button a handful of times. What could be causing this? Where did my terminal go? That's weird. Let's bring this down here. Also, I think another nice touch we can add to this is I think by default, the model that we should use is O4 Mini. However, if the user wants to use GPT-5, for example, I think they should have that freedom to select which model they prompt with. Maybe we incorporate this into the onboarding, but leave O4 Mini as a recommended / default option. What are your thoughts with this? Is this giving the user too much control? Or do you think this is a nice touch to this bring your own key Chrome extension? Okay. Let's do what it's asking for here. Pull up the logs. Oh. I don't see anything of what it's asking for here. Let's just try to refresh. Okay, I'm going to switch to Haiku for this one because this is about to be a lot of input tokens. I just want to give it the full logs just for being thorough. So after that's done, let's go address its... Yeah, so for the test, I did reload the extent. Oh no, I actually, forget that, scratch that. I did not reload the extension. So let's go back here, reload, okay. And let's just open up a new feed. Let's go down here to get reply. Oh yeah, prompt did log successfully. So I think maybe I just had to reload the app. System prompt, you are a voice matching writing assistant. Your primary goal is to analyze the user's writing samples and replicate their authentic voice, tone, and style exactly. Critical, return only a valid JSON array of exactly 3 reply strings with no additional text, explanations, or markdown. So user prompt expert. Wow, wow. Great logs. I don't want to improve on that right now. I have some ideas, but I want to ship this. So we're going to do one more thing here. We got to test the onboarding one more time to see if we can select a different GPT model. And then we also want to address this. We don't want that to pop up. Copy. All right, so logs are working perfectly. I'll report back another day for version 2 of this app. One thing I'm also noticing when I was testing for the logs is there's 100 to maybe 200 failed to load resource. I'm going to paste in the exact browser logs. I think this should be resolved for production, so a user's console logs does not look like this. Also, let me know if this is severe, if this is minor. What's the root cause of these errors? Okay. I'm going to actually X that. We're going to change the model. And I'm going to paste those logs first. And I'm going to hit escape really quickly. Then I'm going to give it what I just said in WhisperFlow here. Then in the meantime, I am going to reload current model. Okay, I wonder if we have to, it would be nice to, now I can see the new section current model added. Is there a way for us to edit what model we're using after we completed the onboarding, or does this need to be done during the onboarding process? I'd imagine that we should be able to change it, right? In theory, even after we onboarded. I think this will provide a better user experience for the user. I do still want to test the onboarding one more time, but I want this to be a feature, and looks like we still have to address some errors here. Okay. All right, that went quickly. Let's refresh. Oh, look at this. Okay, but it's not giving us GPT-5 options. Interesting. Could you explain why, we don't have the option for GPT-5 related models? Like, that should definitely be like, that's what everyone's talking about is GPT-5. I mean, not everyone, but I'd imagine, most people would want to, test with the latest model. Pull up WhisperFlow because that did not. I feel like, that's fine. That's fine. Also, for the reply suggestions window that appears below the post that you generate them for, I think that check mark should be our logo. The check mark to the left of the title, reply suggestions. Oh, this has a knowledge cutoff? Interesting. GPT-5 doesn't exist. What are you smoking, Claude? Is Claude hallucinating here? I think Claude is hallucinating on me. Haiku's model should not... What? Okay, for the model selection, explain why GPT-5 models are not available. See if it gives us the same response. I mean, it's hallucinating. Okay. Let's go to API keys, API reference. Let's see. Nope, I went to the wrong menu. Let's see here. Give me one moment. Platform.openai.com. Models. GPT-5 models are definitely available. There's GPT-5, GPT-5 Mini, GPT-5 Nano. I'm curious, are you hallucinating? I'm just asking it straight up. Are you hallucinating? See image. That's interesting. I mean, it's never done this to me with that outdated information. That's weird. Super weird. Now I have to test those because I just don't trust that it actually... Update model. Okay. Let's go to LinkedIn. Let's get reply ideas. Yeah. Just as I thought. All right, first test with GPT-5. We're running into these errors. I'm going to paste the logs for your records. Now let's see if I switch it back to 4 mini, reply ideas. It generates them. Okay. It's just stating that GPT-5 models uses a different parameter than the 4 models in earlier. Let's refresh, switch to 5, update, refresh, and whoa. So I'm noticing the get reply ideas is a blue check mark and it's not our logo anymore. What happened there? Please resolve. And we're getting another error. Yeah, Jamal, you're actually absolutely correct. It was supposed to be. I think Claude was just hallucinating. I'm not sure what's going on here. I've never had this happen. I've never had this happen working with Claude. Although one thought is, you know, I mainly work with Claude outside of Cursor, but we're still spinning it up the same way. That was very, very odd. Okay. Let's refresh here. Spin up. We're still on 5. All right. I think converting our logo to an SVG, it does not look like our logo anymore. I'm going to provide a screenshot. You had this perfectly earlier. So if we have to go back to once the reply suggestions populate, if you want to leave that as a blue check mark to the left, let's just make sure our branding, our logo for the button on the post itself is as our logo is shown in the extensions toolbar, please. I don't want to speak too soon, but it looks like it's going to work. Wow. Yeah, really worked. Let's go check the logs. So as you can see here, the price did double using GPT-5. And it should confirm we are on GPT-5. Yeah, so I mean, it's still cheap. It is still cheap. Rest assured, it is still very cheap. Wow. Okay. Wow. Loving this. Let's just, for the sake of being thorough, check mini, refresh page, get reply ideas. Am I hallucinating, or are these the same responses? I'm noticing testing with GPT-5, we're getting what appears to be fallback responses. They're generic. They're the same for professional, friendly, and supportive. I'm going to provide the logs. When I check the logs, it shows GPT's output, AI's response is not available. Let's grab all these here. Okay. Love it, love it. Okay. Let's quickly refresh. All right, cool. Our logo's back. And let's generate. It shows us the model, and it's still showing us raw content was. All right. So I'm just going to paste those logs into the terminal. Really have to, it's almost dinner time. Okay, I think we have to get to a good point where it's working, or I just disable the GPT-5 options, although I feel like that's gonna be a critical thing. So let's stay disciplined. Abraço, João. Obrigado. Boa noite. Até próximo, não é? Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you for tuning in, hanging in this long. I'm going to be ending it shortly, as you just heard as well. So, but enjoy your evening. We'll see you next time. All right. So, I think we're ready for testing. We also have to fix these errors here as well. But let's go ahead. Get reply ideas. Nope, this is exactly the same. Let's go check dashboard, API keys, usage. It's literally showing us everything. Wow. Okay. I love how the limit's working. So let's bump that up to 20, save limits, or 15 rather. We're just vibing. We're just going back and forth. Okay, I think what I'm going to do for the sake of shipping this, we're going to disable the GPT-5 options. And I will update that for version 2.0, I think. Yeah, you know, for the sake of shipping this and submitting it to the Chrome Web App Store, let's disable all GPT-5 models and only allow the user to use GPT-4 models and use obviously O4 Mini as the primary default. And we can incorporate GPT-5 into version 2.0 of this extension. It's so easy to go down rabbit holes. Vibe coding. It's like you have something working, you have something pretty much almost ready, and you're like, wait a second, let's test it with GPT-5. And then it goes down this whole thing of hallucinating and experiencing what we've just witnessed these past 30 minutes, it feels like. So, but one thing I will do, I'm going to add a new list because I do love this tool, linked intelligence. And we're going to change the view to a Trello style board. I'm going to call this to do. Incorporate GPT-5 models. Landing page. Freemium update. Stripe integration. I was just adding some things that I know I need to add to the to-do list just overall for this moving forward. Okay, we've almost used 50% of a session. All right, so let's just clear the error log to see if we generate errors for mini update model. All right, let's actually close this out. No errors yet, wonderful. O4 Mini. Let's go to LinkedIn and let's just make sure that these are not generic. So let's get reply ideas. Okay. Get reply ideas. Yeah, no, these are not hallucinating. These are not placeholders. Solid, solid. So now let's check. Oh, look at that. Oh, damn. I mean, it's not showing any errors here, which is great. Is it really from our PNGs? How is it determining that? I guess. Interesting. Okay, update. Is it our logo that's causing that? No. Huh. All right, so you removed our logo from the Get Reply Ideas button, but we still have the same issue, so clearly it wasn't the logo. Please ultra think. Also, restore our logo as well. We want that branding there. Also, restore our logo on that button because we definitely want our branding there. Okay. Apparently it found the issue. All right. Let's refresh. Let's grab our extension, go to LinkedIn. Our logo should be back. Come on, dude. We are still running into the same issue here. Please ultra think. Yeah, and our logo is not our logo. Let's make sure we're using the PNG and not the SVG, please. All right. Filter by invalid. Nothing. I mean, that's solid. Looks like it's defaulting to the light bulb and not our logo when it shows get reply ideas. It should be our li_logo.png, please. Okay, is this just local? I mean, it's not going to affect anything. I can address this a little bit further along the road. Okay, it doesn't seem like it's anything critical. It's just something we can fix on version 2. So let's just make sure that our logo is displaying. And then we're going to clear all, update, go to LinkedIn. Cool. Get reply ideas. Solid. All right. All right, I think we're at a good stopping point for version 1 of this extension. We're going to come back with some improvements for version 2. But let's prepare some documentation so I can submit this into the Chrome Web App Store, please. First, compress this directory so that I can upload it into the developer dashboard. Still no more errors. Wonderful. Those errors are gonna bug me. I'm definitely gonna. I want to go eat dinner though, so it's time to close this out. So I'm starting to take some screenshots here. I want to reset setup as well. And continue. go into dev, Clearmud, linked intelligence, version 1. Just gonna put English, store icon, has to be 128 by 128, huh? I remember Chrome being very particular about this. So let's go and update everything. And go into this logo, edit canvas, and we're gonna do 128 by 128, or sorry, not edit canvas. We wanna edit image size, and 128, voila. Export. Icon. Perfect. Let's see if these screenshots are enough. Okay, so 1280 by 800. 1280 by 800. Let's open. And let's group, or not group, smart object. And let's pull in this as well. I think this should go here, this should go here, this should go here. We'll bring this down. Bamp, bamp. Interesting. All right, let's move this up. Grab this. Convert to smart. Oh, that is actually a very big one there. All right, now we need the welcome. No, I think that's good enough. I think actually, maybe bring this down. That's fine. Cancel. Bring this down as well. Whoops. Yeah, it's good enough. We actually need to export this as a JPEG. JPEG export LI Chrome Web App screenshots 1, and I'm going to place that in there. I'm gonna do a better job at all of this creative. Create onboarding banner / screenshot. Create UI / UX banner / screenshot for 2.0. Also gonna do that here for 2.0. Okay. All right. Replace, great. And then let me also save this as linked intelligence, CWA, screenshot banner, template. And yes, I know I misspelled template, it's fine. Don't save anything. All right. So now store listing, screenshots, drop it here, screenshots 1. All right, we're gonna put Clearmud.ai. Save draft. Now, pretty sure we have to go to please help me fill out the privacy section. I'm gonna paste in some screenshots. And we're gonna add in the second one here. Okay. Also, generate a description for this app as well, please. Also, title for the package, I think should be linked intelligence, colon. You know what? Let's just leave it as is for now. All right, perfect. So let's just go to privacy real quick. Single purpose description. Data usage. Why isn't this, what? This isn't, Sorry, this is taking so long. Chat, we're almost done. This is what I was talking about. Host permission justification, active tab justification. Wow. I think I'm just going to paste them in here and then copy paste again. And that should be active tab. There we go. Storage. Paste up here. Copy. Bam. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do that. Copy. Boom. Wait, but no, we shouldn't select that. LinkedIn post that users paste. I mean, it's all local or used by your item. The content of this form will be displayed publicly. I think we save draft. All right, I'm looking back at your recommendations for, what user data do you plan to collect from users now or in the future? You told me to check a few, but we're not collecting any of that. That's all stored locally, right? Save draft. Let's go back to package, status, store listing, linked intelligence. Verify these fields. Give me a description. Also, how difficult would it be to rename this from linked intelligence to linked intelligence : an AI-powered LinkedIn reply strategist? Oh, am I gonna have to redo all that? That's a bummer. Okay. Items. We're gonna go with that. All right. No. Okay, new item, select 703. So if we go into our dev, Clearmud, linked intelligence, 703. Let me go back through, linked intelligence. Linked intelligence made with curiosity by Clearmud.ai. Oh, did it? It shortened it. Okay. Whatever. Guess that works. Let's call this tools. Put English. Drop this icon in here. Drop this screenshot in here. I have to update Clearmud's website to put it in there. Privacy, save draft. Privacy, okay. Scroll up here, just copy paste. I already know that this is all gonna be unchecked. NA. Single purpose, all right. Storage justification, copy, active tab, and then a host, paste, copy, and paste, and no, we are not using remote code. Save draft. Okay. Store listing. Didn't save that? Interesting. Boop. Made with curiosity by Clearmud.ai. Key features. Doot. Oh, we'll just leave all that Category tools, language, English. Well, it saved all that. That's interesting. Additional fields, official URL, Clearmud.ai, save draft. All right. Visibility, all regions, free of charge. All right. I mean, hey, listen, submit for a review. And that's it. Took me a little longer than I wanted to. At the end there, you know, we just spent about the past 30 minutes just kind of fine tuning things. But as you saw here, you know, if you don't know the answer to a question, ask Claude. And it will help you along the way. It'll hold your hand. So let me just go and delete this draft. I guess archive, we can't delete. Items. And I'm going to go ahead and add this as soon as it's approved into our, I do plan on also updating our website at some point, but for now, it's a good enough layout. Just shows our latest video. And then certain things we're working on. These two are going live very, very soon. And I also have a website that we're fine tuning that we're going to launch within the next 24 hours that will go into our portfolio as well. I'm super excited for that one. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in to this live stream here on Clearmud, where we just build, we build in public. If you have any ideas for the next live stream, drop a comment below. Let me know what that idea is. Chances are we're going to improve on this extension because, as you have witnessed, I am very excited for it. It works great. It doesn't violate the terms of service for LinkedIn. So I think we got something special. Only time will tell. We'll wait for the approval from the Chrome Web App Store. And yeah, hit subscribe so you don't miss when we go live next. We drop videos every Tuesday and Thursday without fail. And just thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, to watch this live stream. And I'll catch you on the next one.